wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown.
Hello Nerdophiliacs, and welcome to episode 4 of the Nerdophiliac. This is Mikey D. I just want to tell you something before we get started today. I'm going to be doing a new segment that it's going to come out every other week, so in between these full episodes. It's called Nerd Haul, and it's usually when I go to the comic book store and pick up my pull or anything like that. So I'm going to go and it's just going to be a short little clip about the comic books I picked up that week. If I happen to come across any toys, action figures, things that I wanted to get, I'll show that as well. Not too much criticism, but it'll kind of give you an idea of what I'm going to be reviewing in the next full episode. So, Nerd Haul. Keep an eye out for it. It'll be on this channel. Same thing. You'll see it in between. I'll just number them. You know, 1, 2, and so on. Okay. So, first we're going to be doing some nerd news. So, real quick. A little announcement, I don't have too much on it, but apparently there's going to be some big Pokemon X and Y news coming out at E3, which is coming up soon. It's like convention season for all the nerds out there in the world. So, yeah, E3 coming up, big Pokemon news. Hopefully they're going to release some more Pokemon. If you want to know about anything they have released, check out episode 3 where I do talk about the Pokemon that they have released from X and Y. So, also, Coulson lives. I'm sure you guys already know this, but if you guys are scouring the internets, I mean, this is kind of old now. This isn't news. This is nerd olds, but it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The TV show is premiering this fall, Tuesdays at 8. That's what I have. And it's pretty much the actor who portrays Agent Coulson in Thor and the Avengers and so on and so forth is going to be in them. And I think this is awesome because DC had Smallville. Now Smallville was great because it was centered around Superman, which is cool, but they also incorporated Aquaman and a little version of the Green Arrow and all these kind of things. And now they have the show Arrow, which is the Green Arrow. And it was a great way to get these heroes that are not big enough to make a movie about, but will get some screen time and get people to know them and who they are and what they're about. And I think that is awesome. And I'm super stoked that they actually have a Marvel version of this. I hear some rumors about Luke Cage being in there, and I'm down with that. So we'll see where this goes. I know I'm going to be tuning in every episode, all day, every day, until the end of days. Boom. Okay, so another thing really quick, DC and Warner Brothers released the Superman 75th anniversary logo. So Superman celebrating 75 years, which I think is great, one of the oldest superheroes that are still popular now. The logo's kind of basic, a blue outline of Superman with 75 on it. Pretty cool, just to exciting to see that something in this industry can last that long. I'm not a huge Superman fan, but people are, and you know what? It's a wide world of nerddom, and that's cool if you are. That's how it is. So, all right, guys. Now I'm gonna do a comic book review. Today I'm gonna be doing Daredevil number 26. And this is written and illustrated, written by Mark Waid and illustrated by Chris Samney. And what's great about them in these issues here is they both are listed as storytellers. One is not the author and one is not the illustrator. It's storytellers. So this is what I gotta let everyone know right now. Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. This is a series you guys should be reading. Now, I know there are a lot of people that aren't a fan of Daredevil because he doesn't have any crazy over-the-top superpowers like the Hulk or whatever, but this series has never let me down. From the minute I put this on my pull list, when times got hard and I had to drop some titles off of my, off my pull list, this was one title that never dropped. There was a time where I was picking up 4 books and this was one of them. And it is great. I mean, the artwork is awesome. It's very, let's say, it's kind of like old school comics looking. It's not super hyper realistic like Lionel Francis Yu, but it's simple, not simple stories, actually very complex stories, but easy to understand, easy to follow. Really great storytelling that just sucks you in. And so this issue here, number 26, is pretty cool because recap. About a year or so ago, there was this widespread story involving Daredevil called Shadowland, and it essentially Daredevil was possessed by some demon, and he went off the deep end, and stuff happened. He kills Bullseye, his main villain, the Green Goblin to his Spider-Man. He kills Bullseye. And so you haven't seen Bullseye forever, and you figure, okay, he's dead. This other character comes around, Lady Bullseye, and you're like, okay, kind of, reliving the legacy, whatever. Well, apparently Bullseye did not die. He was just more, wounded very bad, and he has come back. And the thing is, he is living in this right here. It looks like a giant cocktail shaker, but it is like a stasis container. It keeps him alive. He's pretty much like a zombie, but he can think and talk. And so what he does is he sends out all these he choreographs the ruin of Matt Murdock's life. And it was actually really interesting to see him do this, because there were things that I was like, what is going on? And I could not see the connection, and that's a sign of good storytelling, is I couldn't tell where it was going, and it got to a point and it ended, and it is, well, it's not ended yet. We're getting close. But you finally find out that Bullseye is not dead, and it's great. I mean, this is the series you guys should be reading. And Daredevil, Man Without Fear, this series won the Eisner Award for 2012. So keep an eye out for this. This is great stuff. You're not going to regret it. His Daredevil's best friend, Foggy, has actually just been diagnosed with cancer. And there's like this little cute story afterwards called Punching Cancer. And it's like a really heartwarming story about how he deals with the fact that he has terminal cancer and all this stuff. It's great. This is an amazing series, and I know that sometimes the lawyer stuff can get a little dry, but once you like steamroll through that, it is awesome stuff waiting for you. So Daredevil number 26 finds out Bullseye's alive, and Daredevil in general, you need to get it. Get it. I don't even care. Just get it. No excuses. Do it. Anyway, moving on. Now, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit something about Nerd Rage. I'm going to Nerd Rage right now. I'm going to talk about time travel. And to do this, I'm wearing my fez, which my amazing fiance made for me in like 20 minutes, and it's awesome. This is going to be some awesome cosplay for the amazing Las Vegas Comic-Con coming up. That's for another episode. So I'm going to tell you guys about time travel. Now, I'm not friends with time travel. There's good examples of it, and there's bad examples of it. But I personally think time travel in general is a cheap... a means to an end. It's a deus ex machina. We screwed up to the point where we painted ourselves in a corner. Let's just go back in time and fix it all. Now I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, but you see, Doctor Who handles it differently. Yes, they involve paradoxes and all these things, but each episode, it has its own story. You go back in time, aliens are here doing this, stop that threat, go back. This and that, go back. And so I like how Doctor Who handles it. And another good example is Back to the Future. I mean, who doesn't love Back to the Future? It's a great movie. It's a simple to follow story. A, B, C, and D. And you get it. It was the rules were put out there, and it made sense. But bad examples of time travel. We have that failed show, I don't know if you guys remembered it, called Terra Nova. They canceled it after like 6 seasons. Not only was the writing horrendous, but it was this idea they go back into the time of the dinosaurs to find out that there was futuristic technology waiting for them. It just doesn't make sense. It was bad. It got canceled, so I guess I wasn't the only one that felt that way. Anyway, another bad example, and I'm sorry guys, I have to say this, is Terminator. I love Terminator 2. I think it is one of the best action movies out there. Terminator 1 is like, okay, but you could totally tell it was made to be a horror film. It was like a robotic horror thing. The music, everything, it was in the horror genre for the 80s, which is fine. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But Terminator 3, and then isn't there a fourth one? Whatever the heck with Christian Bale? No. Stop. Stop. Stop! Terminator, stop. Like, that's what needs to happen. It's horrible. I don't like... they ignore consequences. This is my problem with time travel in general. Is when you go from point A to point B, and then you have to go back to point A, what you did in B has consequences. There are certain things that happened or didn't happen that needed to. And then a lot of times when you go back to A and everything's all happy and good, those consequences get ignored. And I just think that for people that if the goal of the entire story is time travel, then you got to stick to it. But if it's like we're doing a superhero story and then all this stuff about, you know, robots and all this stuff, and then you go back and then it's like, oh yeah, all that stuff never happened. Now it's about time travel. Forget what we were trying to do. Now it's about time travel. It's just aggravating. It confuses me, as you can probably tell, because I feel confused right now. I'm staring off into space, and I think that I feel like I'm traveling in time right now in a poorly written Fox show that's going to be canceled mid-season. That's what I feel like right now. So, sorry guys. Time travel, not so good. Doctor Who does it elegantly. I mean, you know, and even when they cross paths, the show doesn't take itself so incredibly seriously that you can't undo stuff. And it's not believable. And that's what makes Doctor Who a great show, and that's why it's been on there for like 50 years. So, and that's why Terra Nova sucks, and it was canceled after 6 episodes. But, okay, so that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 4 is done. So, if you guys got any questions, comments, please leave some comments down below. I'm going to leave a link to the trailer for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, and I'm super excited about that. So next week, I got Nerd Hall coming up. It's pretty much just going to be comic books. And then on the next episode, I'll be talking about Las Vegas Comic Con and how excited I am that we actually have one. Yay! Thanks, guys. Subscribe.